everyone, good morning. I hope you all are well. If you are new here, welcome to my channel. I'm your host Leah Apocrypha, and it is a pleasure to meet you guys. I hope that you will consider joining this little soul family that we have going on, if you feel called to. If not, no problem at all. Still, regardless, thank you so much for being here. If you are returning, welcome back, soul family. You're always deeply appreciated. As always, all disclaimers and information, as well as decks, are in the description box down below. If you are new, please have a look. Thank you all so very much for being here. I really, truly, deeply appreciate each and every single one of you guys, always and forever. So, today, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the precious, the beautiful black tourmaline. This is my little black tourmaline collection, even though black tourmaline is one of the top favorites of mine. This is my little collection. So I actually woke up from a dream, and it's not often that I have crystals come to me in my dreams, but when I do, a lot of times it is black tourmaline. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about black tourmaline, give thanks and tribute to black tourmaline, and do a little reading for black tourmaline. I've already done one before, but yeah, so let's get into it. I want to share with you some of my beauties here. This is only a tiny fraction of my whole crystal collection, which I would like to do a collection tour in the future. But as of right now, I'll just show little bits and pieces here and then. But if you would like to see more, I do have a post on my Instagram showing the majority of my collection. Pretty much the colorful ones. Anyway. So, my absolute favorite crystal of all time right now is this right here. This is tourmalated quartz. So, tourmalated quartz is clear quartz with black tourmaline inside. Isn't it gorgeous? I can never get over just how gorgeous it is. Why tourmalated quartz? Why is it my favorite? Well, to be honest, balance has always been something important to me. Some kind of yin and yang energy has always been something important to me since childhood. As a matter of fact, I always have a lot of like kind of black and white or clear energy around me. This is lava rock and this is clear quartz. I love how this one ended up with like a third eye. I just fucking think it's perfect. So yeah, the energy of yin and yang is something that's always like very important to me in my practice. And this is obsidian. This is a phantom quartz. Why is it important to me? Honestly, I'm so drawn to it. I'm just very, very drawn to it. This is also lava rock. I know it's not black tourmaline, but I'm just showing you guys. A lava rock, and this is a quartz geode cluster. It's really hard to see at the moment. You just see white. It's just whitewash. It's beautiful, I promise. Anyway, this energy is very important to me. It's something that since childhood, without even understanding anything about energy or what yin yang really was, or without understanding much else about these types of things, it's always been a very important energy in my life. And so I do personally feel so connected and so drawn to tourmalated quartz, which this is a big piece of tourmalated quartz, which I will show in a little bit more detail. But let's get into it, right? That's what you're here for. Tourmaline. Black tourmaline is a crystal, a mineral to be exact, that has been used for grounding. It is the magician, the alchemist of negative energy. It transmutes negative energy, negative emotions, negative thoughts into positive ones. It transmutes it from negative to something where you can transform it into something else. It's a very grounding stone, a very healing stone, a very powerful stone. Black is the color of protection. And boy, do I definitely feel that black tourmaline does protect. It is also known to help people against negative energies around you, such as like energy vampires, people who consciously or subconsciously drain other people of their energy, which is what an energy vampire does, subconsciously or consciously. Let's see. I might just read a little bit here that I have on the side. Protection from negative energies and intentions, clearing the aura, grounding and balance. What else here? Purifying qualities, strong protection. It really is definitely, I would highly recommend black tourmaline for anyone, really, whether you've been in practice for a long time or you're barely starting out. I would definitely recommend a stone such as black tourmaline or another black stone, something that is for protection. And again, as I said, black is the color of protection, and every color has its own vibration, and every color has its own connection to certain chakras or certain energies. For example, black tourmaline can be used, or black crystals can be used in tandem with red crystals for root chakra work, the first chakra, the lowest one. It's very grounding. It's very, very powerful energy. So, with that being said, I would like to show you a little bit of what I have here. So I did show you this heart pendant, this tourmalated quartz. I have this ring, which is usually always on my right thumb. It's a little difficult to see, but it is tourmalated quartz. Very, very hard to see. I'm just gonna put that on right now. I have, let's go with this one. This one was a Christmas gift from my aunt. This one, I call these my twins. This one is very, very special to me. I used to wear this one as a necklace always until I got this one, and now I wear this one and keep this one safe at home. It's a chunky piece too, so I'm pretty sure my neck appreciates the difference in weight as I wear too much jewelry. It's just these two pieces of black tourmaline together. This one also does remind me of twin flame energy. Whenever I see crystals that are in pairs like this, it always makes me think of some kind of like soulmates or twin flame kind of energy. I just love it. It makes me feel, I don't know, I feel love from it. Hopefully you're getting all of the beauty in it. The next one I'll show you is this one. This is a piece of black tourmaline, and on the other side is mica. Now this piece also has a little black druzy here with the mica. Usually if you see here this kind of thing on black tourmaline, chances are it is mica. Now I will show you this one. This one is a good chunk. I like to use this one in my meditations sometimes, or I'll have it next to my head when I'm sleeping on my bed. It's so gorgeous. I just love black tourmaline so much. Black tourmaline has definitely been a staple in, you know, my personal work, or working with crystals, or trying to work with my healing. I'm on my healing journey. I'm on my self-love journey, and black tourmaline I definitely feel has helped me. I'm so grateful for black tourmaline. Well, every crystal is beautiful in its own way, but I have a particular affinity for black tourmaline. Now I have this piece as well. This is tourmalated quartz. Not clear quartz though. Well, it is technically, it's milky, but anyway, it's quartz. This one I got at a local shop. These two I got at the mall, a store called Earthbound. This one I said was a gift. This one was from a local crystal shop, the same as this one, which is called the Gem Store, the Gem Center USA. This one, I think I got it in a store called Bluestone, which is in New Mexico. Definitely worth going to. If you ever go to New Mexico, Bluestone, you love crystals, Bluestone, that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, so I'll show you the sides. And then here we do have that mica. And the back here, just this gorgeous stripe of black tourmaline. Every now and then you could see teeny tiny little rainbows, but since it's not very clear like this one, it's a little harder to see the rainbows in the clear quartz. So I did talk quite a bit about black tourmaline. Now let's continue, shall we? Let's see. I think I'll leave this here for right now. Like that. Sure, that works. And this one, I'll put it right there. So, I want to ask for a little message from Black Tourmaline. Let's see what we get. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm so scattered. It happens. I forgot that I wanted to add a little bit of singing bowl here. Now for this singing bowl, teeny tiny little session, let's really focus on transmuting negative energy into positive energy. As I say when I do singing bowl things, you know, as many people say when they do singing bowl or meditations, of course, breathing in positive energy and releasing negative energy, tension, fears, anxieties, depressive emotions, overwhelm, stress, the feeling of lack, and bringing in abundance, love, prosperity, and all of the positive energy. So, you know what it is that you should focus on, and please join me. Let's do it together. Breathe in together and out together as I hit the singing bowl. What I usually do is I go 3 times and then I'll make it sing a little bit. So let's do that. Breathing in positive energy and breathing out negative energy. So much tension. So much tension. Definitely, these days have been very stressful for many of us, especially with the quarantine and whole COVID, everything that's going on these days. It really has been difficult. Whenever you feel stressed and you feel overwhelmed, please allow yourself to take a moment for yourself. And think back to going within and releasing the stress and the anxiety. Allow yourself a time and space where you can feel through your emotions. It's very important. Feel through your emotions and know that you are strong enough to do it. There's a post that I saw on Facebook yesterday, and I did share it. And pretty much it really is important to remember to, well, what I said in this post, I'm sorry, I am kind of scattered and it's already like 20 minutes into the video. If you're still watching, thank you so much. What I was saying and trying to express as my response to this post was, it was a post about feeling through the energy instead of running from it, instead of drinking from it, instead of sleeping it away, drinking it away, sexing it away. Instead of running from it, it's important to work through it and heal it in order to move from it. A wound cannot heal when it is dirty, because the wound will get infected and it will only spread and become worse. Is that not the same thing that our emotions do? The pain that we feel from our past, we bottle it up sometimes. And next thing you know, it's ready to just fucking explode. Right? That is the infection. The infection is the plague that it has in our mind. The energy where it becomes a leech onto our positive emotions, and it really does drain you. I'm pretty sure that every single person has at some point or another experienced something where maybe they were finally thinking like, oh, I'm over this, I'm done, and things are getting better. But then you find yourself in a really down day. And you ask yourself, why? Have I not worked through this shit already? And when you delve deeper into this, is when you find that there's still remnants, little speckles of that memory, of that pain, of that trauma that are still left behind. Now, if they go unchecked, they're going to build up again. And again, this is the same concept as an infection. This is like a spiritual infection, an emotional infection. It is something that begins to plague us and consume us. It grows. It really does. Emotions grow. Emotions are powerful. It is when we go through it and we live through it again, and that is the worst part of it. But the outcome is not having little speckles of that memory stuck in your psyche, stuck in your aura, stuck in your spirit, or in your physical body. I've been seeing synchronistic numbers, but I'm not necessarily calling them out. When we want to clean a wound, when we want a wound to heal, we have to cleanse it. If there is something in the wound, we have to take it out. And that within itself is something very painful. You have to apply pressure to the wound. You have to cleanse the wound. You have to put gauze. You have to wrap the wound. You have to tend to it, not just once, not just twice, not just 3 times. Sometimes, if it's a big wound, you're going to have to tend to it many times. And the worst thing is sometimes our emotions go unchecked to where we don't realize that it has already infected us to some degree. But that happens. We're all human. And sometimes we don't realize that something is still boiling beneath the surface. Why? Because we have distractions. School, work, kids, family, friends, personal, issues going on, vehicle problems, other problems, financial issues, whatever it is that's going on in our life that drains our energy. But we must learn how to do our best to cleanse and purify and transmute that energy. We must transmute the energy within us. And that is something that Black Tourmaline teaches us. I don't know where that came from. But I felt called to say it, so I'll take it as that was Black Tourmaline speaking. If you would like to know more or have more messages about Black Tourmaline, as I mentioned, I do have one video where I did a messages from Black Tourmaline. And so let's see what comes today. One more, please. One more, please. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. So here today we have the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Fool in reverse, the Five of Cups in reverse, and the Eight of Swords. I had a feeling this card was going to come out. I had a feeling this card was going to come out earlier. I was actually watching a tarot reading and I had the feeling of this card. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Seven of Wands, being guarded. Definitely what I see here is blockages. There's something that you feel guarded about, something in your way, something that you may be keeping yourself stuck, like the Eight of Swords. Something you may be keeping yourself stuck on that is keeping you from moving forward and progressing to what it is that you want. And so what I'm seeing here is this was the wound. The wound has made you perhaps even a little bitter about something. Perhaps angry or sad about a situation, disappointed. I feel like this is where the energy is that is affecting the rest. There's something that you feel guarded about, and it really is keeping you from moving forward towards something that you want. It's keeping you from seeing the bigger picture. Because the Fool is about taking a leap of faith. The Fool is not afraid to charge forward head first. The Fool is ready. The Fool is not naive in a stupid way. The Fool is full of positive energy. The Fool consists of I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do it kind of energy. The Fool is not gonna let anyone get in his or her way. The Fool knows what they want, and they are taking the steps necessary to get there. That is what the Fool does. They don't care about what other people think. They don't care if someone's like, oh my god, you're stupid, you're gonna jump off a fucking cliff, really? But the Fool's like, I got it. Don't actually jump off a cliff. Obviously, that's not what I'm talking about here. Metaphorically, jumping off a cliff. People telling him not to, but the Fool knows that in order for the Fool to have their vision come to life, they have to take that leap of faith. Is the only way for it to work out. Here with the Five of Cups, we see, and actually both of these cards have Jack in them, right? This is the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot. Jack Skellington over here, ready to well, he wants to take a leap of faith, but with the card in reverse is saying that he's not taking a leap of faith. And we see here with the Five of Cups, we have Jack here after the part where he has already decided to impersonate Santa and take Christmas into his own hands. Right? And we know, if you've seen the movie, if you know about the story, you know that he was literally shot down from the sky. And this is where he ends up. He's on this angel. And he's like, what have I done? So I'm seeing here that there may be emotions of regret, emotions of resentment, emotions of fear that are lingering within you. But there's a strong need to let it go. You see, even though the Five of Cups upright is about someone who's crying over spilt milk, with it in reverse in the context of what these cards are, again, even though technically the Seven of Wands upright is the card of being guarded. But for me personally, I don't always read reversals as, you know, the opposite of the meaning. Sometimes it's saying that that energy is really, really strong. The energy is something that's really prominent in this. And that's what I feel from here. It's not saying the opposite of being guarded. It's saying we are currently in the energy of being severely guarded. Currently in the energy of not taking a leap of faith. And currently in the energy of really, really crying over or feeling sad or angry, manipulated, whatever this energy is, this negative, this strong negative energy of the past. We want these cards, we want the Fool to be upright. And we want these cards to symbolize what they're supposed to symbolize in reverse. But right now I feel like the energy is perhaps you're trying to transform your own energy into something from negative to positive. I saw 3344. Threes could be about, I know I say this before, but the Magician card is number 1 in the tarot, but 3 gives me some Magician energy. So I'm seeing, you know, we want to be in the Magician energy. And we want stability, such as the 4, right? But with these blockages here, we really need to transform this energy in order for us to move forward and take the leap of faith. But again, here underneath the deck is the 8 of Needles, which is exactly what we are talking about. The 8 of Needles, the 8 of Swords is the card where there's a woman who is bound. She is loosely bound. She is surrounded by 8 swords, and she has a blindfold over her eyes. The thing that people observe about this card is that she could very easily, shake off the binding, take off the blindfold, and walk carefully in between the swords. But she chooses to stay there. So in a way, it's like the hanged man kind of energy. The hanged man puts himself in a position where he is forced to see things from a different perspective. With the Fool in reverse and the Eight of Swords, that's the energy that I'm getting, is the hanged man. So I feel like either you are currently trying to heal through this. It is currently a time where you may be really struggling, but really trying very hard to heal through something. But at the same time, there's an aspect of us holding ourselves there. And I don't know if it's because of guilt or shame, if you feel like you're not worthy or something. That's not true, okay? You are worthy. You do deserve to move past the struggles in your life, and we all have struggles, and I'm not saying that yours are any less. What I'm saying is it's time to remove the binding from you, remove the blindfold, and figure out how you want to put yourself back together. Not to be guarded because of disappointment in the past, whether it involved someone else, involved a career, involved something that just disappointed you and caused you to put a guard over your heart. When we guard our hearts, what we're doing is keeping ourselves from the future blessings that want to come into our lives. So let's say, for example, you're pining over desiring a relationship, but you're still hurt over a past relationship, and because it didn't go well, you have this guard over your heart. And sometimes it's subconscious. Sometimes we don't realize how deep we are in it, but it's there. And again, a wound cannot heal if it is infected. We need to sometimes get in there and gently, carefully pull an object out that has been lodged into the wound. Is the only way to heal it, right? If someone ends up in the hospital with a bullet wound, what do the doctors do? They pull out the bullet. They figure out a way to take it out. Of course, carefully, and they're skilled professionals, so they do everything in their power to be careful with the nerves and the veins and everything. They don't want to make the wound worse, but they do what they have to do in order to fix you up, in order to give your body the opportunity to properly heal and be cleansed. We need to get out of our head. This is definitely something that I have been called more to do more and more lately, is to meditate. Especially because for myself personally, I'm one of those people that my mind just won't shut the fuck up. Monkey brain. Definitely, that's me for sure. In that moment of silence, in that moment of peace, I'm able to ground myself and I'm able to feel, I feel better. After any meditation session, I feel better. Sometimes we just have to give a moment to ourselves in order to go through the emotions. And if you have a meditation session and you end up crying and you end up so stuck on an emotion and so if you end up crying because of something that is brought to the surface, it's okay. Let it happen. Be in the moment. Because that, when we are going through these memories and these emotions, I saw 40, it's going to stir up, these old thought patterns, these old memories. It's going to stir up it's going to stir up pain within our heart, within our mind. But we must learn, right? For example, Sally, as you can tell, she's sewn together, right? If Sally were to never have a sewing kit with her and learn how to sew herself back together, she would just be laying there in pieces until someone comes and finds her and rescues her. Sally learned for herself, for her own protection, for her own sanity, for her own strength and independence. She learned how to sew herself back together. And that is how she picks herself up and she continues through her day. We must learn to be like Sally in that way, where even if we fall apart and we feel broken to all pieces, we have the sewing kit within ourselves to put ourselves back together, because we are never truly broken. That is a feeling so strong that it manipulates our environment and our energy and our abundance. It really does become an energy vampire. It becomes a leech. Whether you're male or female, we must learn to have the perspective of Jack, where he's not going to let anyone get in his way when he wants to accomplish something. So you might say, oh, well, look what happened to Jack when he wanted this. It's not what he did, it's how he went about it. Think about that. Jack has this beautiful mind that he wants to help people. He wants to bring upon his community new perspectives and new blessings and something fun and energetic, instead of it always being the stale same thing, right? That is what Jack wants. He has this child innocence about him, and being childlike and being childish is different from being immature. I will always stand my ground on that. Being immature is completely different from having a childlike perspective, because children are very highly intelligent. Children are intellectual, and of course they may not be to the point where we are, because naturally they have not lived as long as we have. But they have such beautiful, strong minds that have not yet been tainted by society's bullshit, by the pain and trauma that society will bestow upon them. Jack has this full energy, and that is what people love about him. He is a leader in his community because he's not the type to be in this Eight of Swords energy. He's the type to be the fool and to go out there and get it. And again, it's not exactly what he did, it's the way he went about it. He could have easily gone up to Santa and been like, "Hi, I'm Jack Skellington from Nightmare Town. Like, it's nice to meet you. Teach me about this stuff. And can I join you? Like, giving presents on your holiday? Like, he could have gone about it so differently. It would have ended differently. And that's my point. It's not what you do, it's not what you say, it's how you do it and how you say it. Jack has a beautiful mind, and he just wanted to help and uplift his own people. But he went about it in the wrong way. He went about it in a way where he ended up controlling the situation against people's will. He took matters into his own hands and told, was it Rock, Jacques, and Barry or something? He told the kids to kidnap Santa. And I was thinking, because one of them is like a devil. I almost said kidnap Satan. One is a witch, one is a devil, and one is, what is he? Is he a mummy? Is he something? A skeleton, a mummy. Anyway, my point is, he started to tell people to do things. With his influence, these people did these things for him. And look what happened to him. Sally, throughout the movie, was telling him, you know, maybe you should reconsider. Maybe we should go about this differently. Maybe we could just do something else. He didn't take her advice. Remember how I said earlier, the fool is not going to give a shit about what anyone says. He's gonna go out and do it. That's great and all, to some degree. But it's important to at least be open-minded enough to hear the people around us who care about us, who are trying to give us words of wisdom. Together, Jack and Sally make a beautiful, perfect couple. But on their own, separate, there are things that they themselves do not necessarily have. So yes, Jack has the fool mentality, but he needs someone who's more grounded. Someone who could tell him, hey, you know, maybe we could reconsider. Like, what you want to do, it's a great idea, but we should go about it differently. It's important to at least be open-minded enough to hear people out around you in your circumstances and not just like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. We should hear them out because for all we know, they may have perfectly valid advice. We are keeping ourselves stuck. And I know that's the shittiest thing to hear. No one wants to hear that. But the truth is, the majority of the time, we do keep ourselves stuck because we have free will. We can change our circumstances. And of course, I understand that not all things are that easy. And in certain circumstances, you know, if it involves children or it involves school, it involves something in particular, then, you know, there is the need to listen to the advice or what's going on around you in order to make the best decision. We must learn to put ourselves back together to heal the wounds properly. We must learn to admit when we're wrong, but don't dwell on it. Admit it, apologize when need to apologize, learn from it, and move on from it. If someone wants to hold a grudge on something, that's their own damn problem. If you apologize and you mean it wholeheartedly, and you do your part in learning your lesson, then what they do with it is their own problem. That's on them. and I wish them the, greatest peace and blessings, just as I wish for you. But in truth, you cannot control the way that people handle a situation. What you do is a reflection of yourself. How someone reacts to what you're doing is a reflection upon who they are, not you. Learn to let go of the past and heal from it. We all make mistakes. We all have been there in our life at some point or another where we're like, why the fuck did I go about this thing in the way that I did? Look where I ended up. That's a life lesson. That's a lesson for us to learn, that only we can learn for ourselves. It's not to feel guilty. It's not to feel shameful. That's not that's not the point here. On the contrary, the point is to learn from it. The point is to grow. Follow your inner guidance. Right? We have Zero here. He's the Rudolph with the shiny nose. Follow your inner guidance. Follow your spirit's calling, right? Because he is a ghost. Follow your spirit's calling. Pursue your dreams. Mend what you feel has been broken inside, but know that you are never broken. Never broken. We may feel so broken, so torn, so in pieces, but we're whole, right? Just because we feel our heart breaking does not mean our heart literally stops. Just because we have a broken heart doesn't mean that our heart isn't working, right? If we're still alive, we're still breathing, we're still able to walk and eat and talk and do things, our heart's not broken. It feels like it is. It hurts. And it's not to say that things that happen won't make you feel like, damn, like I'm fucking dying here. But always remember, that is a feeling. We all experience feelings. The whole point of these feelings are to help us understand our situation better. If you're going through something in your life that makes you feel like shit, that is a sign from your own inner self, from your spirit guides, from whoever it is. It is a sign that that situation is not right for you. If that person, place, or thing always makes you feel like shit, it is not the energy that vibes with you. Therefore, we need to let it go. We need to learn to put ourselves back together and to learn that it's okay. You see several leaves fall out. It's okay. That's okay if a few leaves fall out. She still has a functioning arm. She's still functioning. And she could always get other leaves. She could get new, fresh leaves. They don't have to be old, dead leaves. She can replace them. You are never broken, ever. Even when we feel this gaping void from our heart, that is a time for healing. When you feel a void in your heart, your heart space, love is the highest vibration. And they say the opposite of love is not hate, it's fear, the lowest vibration. And I mentioned this before that, within my own personal healing journey, I have found that, my own issues and things that I struggle with within my own life stem from fear. For example, jealousy stems from a fear of not being good enough, right? Greed stems from a fear of not having enough. Everything stems from something. And it's important for you to realize the emotions that you're going through. Are they stemming from love or are they stemming from fear? We need to be honest with ourselves and acknowledge and be truthful to ourselves. Where does this come from? And we'll probably quickly find that either it stems from love or it stems from fear. I'm going to now pull from some oracle decks. It's important when you're learning to heal yourself and you're going through these hard times and these hard emotions that are within you, it's important to remember to love yourself. And there's a quote, if you don't love yourself, how could you love someone else? 100% true. I don't care who you are or, what's going on. If you're saying, like, you don't have to love yourself in order to love someone else, bullshit. I'm speaking from personal experience because I'm telling you straight up, I've lost relationships because I didn't love myself, because I started causing problems because I didn't have it within myself that I felt like I had enough within me. I'm speaking from personal experience, and I'm also speaking from the experience of people that I know, relationships that don't work out, jobs that don't work out, things that don't work out because we don't feel like we're good enough. But that's bullshit. We are good enough. We do deserve better. You do deserve better. When we learn to love ourselves, we learn to understand other people. Why is that? In my healing journey, which I'm still going through, and some days I feel it fucking hard. Some days I literally I don't want to, some days it's hard to function. And I know we all have that. But we have to remember that the way someone else reacts to our shit is a reflection upon them. What we do and say is a reflection upon ourselves. So all we can do when we are healing from something is to learn to forgive other people, to apologize when we're wrong, and to learn to forgive ourselves. Learning to forgive yourself and learning to love yourself is cleaning out the wound so it doesn't get infected. Because when we have an infected wound, or shall I say, when we feel, sorry, I'm moving around. When we struggle with this, when we feel like we're not good enough, we allow people to treat us like shit. Perfect example here, which is, maybe a trigger warning, maybe this is what you're going through, or maybe someone going through this, right? When someone thinks that they're not good enough, they usually end up in a relationship that's manipulative. Either when you don't feel like you're good enough, you do the manipulating, or you allow yourself to be manipulated subconsciously or consciously, right? People will say love does crazy things, or, love does not abuse you. Love does not neglect you, so I don't give a fuck what relationship you're in. If someone is treating you like shit, they do not love you. Maybe they love you to some degree, yes. But if they really, truly, deeply love you and appreciate you, they will not treat you like shit. I don't give a fuck who they are, what they've been through, what you've been through. You do not treat the people that you love like shit. That is a pitiful excuse. And I'm speaking from experience as well. When you love yourself, you stop allowing people to treat you like shit. Again, I'm speaking from experience. It's not until I started to love myself that I started saying, you know what? Dude, you're gonna treat me like shit, whatever, bye. This is gonna be one-sided relationship, whatever, I'm done. And it goes both ways. I'm not perfect. I've made many mistakes, and I still make mistakes in my life. The whole point of life is to learn from them and to become a better version of yourself. Right? It is important to love yourself, because when you love yourself, you know you deserve better, and you will not put up with anyone or anything that treats you less than. It's important to learn to love yourself and forgive yourself, because then when you see the same traits of you that you dislike within yourself in someone else, you know how to better handle the situation. You know how to communicate about it a little bit better because you have personal experience in that situation. When you see a shadow, let's say whatever your biggest shadow is, or let's say for easier terms, your biggest inner demon, when you see that within someone else, it's not going to trigger you as much because you see it within yourself. So you already acknowledge, hey, we're human. We all have the same shit deep down inside. That doesn't make you a terrible person, because I'm not a terrible person because I have these shadows within me, and I see that you're not a terrible person just because you have those shadows within you too. When you learn to work with your shadow, work through your shadow, to learn from your shadow, it teaches you to become stronger. Because in the dark, you have to use all of your other senses. It's not like in the light where you could see, oh, look, there's a bush over there. I'll just go and grab some berries. Okay, well, before I eat the berries, I have to make sure that they're edible and they're not poisonous. Right? Oh, I have this book. I could just read through it and see. In the light, I mean, it's easier to see. But it is in the dark where you have to really fend for yourself. You have to really go through the emotions. You have to feel with each of your senses, like echolocation. Feeling by touch, listening with sound. In silence, everything is different. It is not an evil. It is not necessarily a negative. It's just different. Both have their pros and cons, just like everything in life has its pros and cons. We must learn to understand ourselves better in order to learn to understand other people better. I'm sorry, I feel like I just went in a complete tangent. I'm just speaking what's coming to my mind and how I'm feeling and shit like that. But I think pretty much I said what I feel needed to be said. So I'm going to continue. I hope I'm making sense. If you're still here with me, thank you. It's been like 30 minutes staring at crystals and 30 minutes reading so far. I hope that this is resonating. I really, really hope that it's helping. Let's see what else comes through. I feel like this one wants to come through. Boundaries. This card has been coming out like every reading. Boundaries. Okay, let's see here. What I have been saying for this card, what this card gives me the feeling of is there's a need to balance ourselves, a need for grounding. There's a need to trust our intuition, follow our heart, and release negative cycles within ourselves. She is in the middle of a forest. She is alone. She's not in a state of fear. She's in a state of knowing and openness and love. In a state of trusting and understanding, in a state of balance. I don't know, I just had that song come out in my head. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I don't know why. Well, I mean, obviously there's a ring of fire here. Sometimes we may feel trapped, caged, imbalanced. It's important for us to remember that we're really not as trapped as we have ourselves believe. You see, if the fire were an issue, she could get up and literally just walk over it and throw some dirt on it and it'll extinguish. But she's in the middle of the fire. She's sitting with it. She's learning from it. She's at peace with it. So I feel like this is someone who is going through their darkness. I don't know why I had the term dark night of the soul pop out in my mind. Maybe that's something that you may look into. Maybe that's something that you're currently going through, or maybe you have already. With the heart chakra being lit up, it does make me think back to the Seven of Wands, where I said it's about being guarded. She's not guarded. She knows that she's protected. She trusts that she's protected. And she put a circle around herself for protection. She's finding balance and peace in the darkest moments of her life, where she feels alone, where she feels cold, inside she feels warmth, where she feels lost, inside she is found. She trusts her journey. She knows she's on the right path, and she doesn't need anyone else to tell her she is or is not. because she has the intuition. She follows her intuition and her heart. She's grounded in reality, knowing how to use the elements around her to manifest her desires. But she's not cocky about it either. She's at peace. She is one with the universe. She is one with herself. She is one with her memories and her experiences because they do not drain her, but rather they fuel her to move forward. They fuel her to trust and believe in herself and her guidance even more, to release old cycles and to start anew. This is kind of making me think of a moon. She follows the cycles of life because she knows that they hold the secrets to what it is that she's looking for. She's at peace in knowing and learning and progressing through life. Love. She loves herself, but she also is emanating here. It's like she's holding a crystal. And just the first one that came up to my mind, because it's kind of pink, is rose quartz, right? And we have roses, a lot of pink energy, healing, compassionate, a soft, gentle, kind love. And here we have another kind of symbol of the moon. But this love is emanating from her heart. If you look closely, it's kind of like, it might not show on the camera, but like it kind of looks like this ray of light. All this part is like a ray of light emanating from this crystal that is upon her heart. Where her third eye is, looks like a crescent moon. She's at peace, and again, she trusts. She loves herself and she trusts herself. She trusts her path and her inner guidance. And she shares that knowledge and that love and that compassion with other people. She is healing her heart. She has healed her heart. A blocked chakra is of a darker colors, right? If you look into chakras, you'll find chakra and aura, that when someone's aura and their chakras are very bright and vivid, it's because it is open. When it's closed off, it is dark. And I feel like that's what this is. It's her in the midst of her difficult times. And this is the transition. This is what has come of her doing her healing journey, is love. She not only found love within herself, which is the most important love for us to have. Because when we learn to love ourselves, not in a cocky way, we learn to better love other people. Because we want to treat other people how we want to be treated. We know that we're worthy. And so we're going to treat others like they're worthy too. Here, her heart chakra is glowing, but it's not emanating as much as this one. Home. There may be a situation revolving around family or home. there may be this sense of not belonging. I'm called to this crow here, and crows are messengers, right? Birds, as you can hear in different religions and different spiritual practices, or even in, if you look into animal totems, working with animal spirits. Birds tend to be messengers of the beyond. So I feel like perhaps you have a spirit guide that is a bird of a sort. Perhaps when you see a certain type of bird fly by, or you hear it singing or chirping around you, you feel this inner peace. You feel like your guides, your ancestors, your gods or goddesses, or whoever it is, you feel them with you. You feel their presence. And I feel like that is a confirmation that they are with you. And it doesn't have to just be, birds. It could be other animals. It could be other animals as well. I believe that all animals have something great to teach. But again, going back to the home, perhaps you feel there has been some difficulties in your home situation. Perhaps you have been arguing or fighting with someone in your home, your household, a family member. Perhaps you want to release this and you don't know how to get past it. Like, you love your family, you want to show them, but sometimes you feel like maybe so caught up in yourself that you don't know how to show them. I feel like any little step helps, and definitely something important to remember is not to allow our ego to get in the way. Because sometimes our ego could be like, well, they did this and blah 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 and whatever. Like, that's not what love is about. Unconditional love isn't going to be like, well, fuck it, they did this, so fuck them. That's not unconditional love. Unconditional love, I believe, is to say like, hey, like, I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit, but I love you and I'm here for you if you ever need. But don't take advantage of me, because I won't put up with that, because I know that I deserve better than being taken advantage of. But that does not mean that I don't love you, or that I'm not here for you, or that I don't want to help you. There's plants here. So perhaps there's something still about home that needs to be focused on and healed. Perhaps childhood trauma, childhood wounds. You may want to do like healing of your inner child, which would definitely, I feel, bring us closer to our inner selves, into peace. What's underneath? Friendship. This is making me think of a card that says, accept help from your friends. And I believe that is from this deck. But this is like a love deck. Let's see, maybe I'll pull one of those. Friendship. And underneath here, inspiration. Again, there's more fire energy here. I'm curious what this one is. Healing. Family. Look at, wow. Okay. Alright. This is just confirmation on everything that I was talking about over here with home. I mentioned about family. I mentioned so much during this reading so far, and even talking about Black Tourmaline, the need for healing. an inspiration. Here, inspiration comes from within. Inspiration comes from the belly. And I believe the chakra that is most connected to inspiration and confidence, as well as creativity, is, I believe, the sacral chakra, the second one, the orange one. Makes us think of fire, feeling the flames, the fire. Inspiration, follow your inspiration. Remember what I was saying about the fool here, about Jack Skellington, that the beautiful thing about Jack is that he follows his desires. Even if they seem naive to other people, he trusts that there's purpose in what he wants. And he's going to get out there and get it. Now, what I said also is be cautious. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Right? So this may be a caution. This may be saying, like, you need to follow your heart. You really need to heal yourself. But at the same time, be a little bit careful about how you come off. It's not to say care about what other people think. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you're going to word something, try to be mindful of the way that you word it. I don't know why that's coming out. When you want to bring peace to people, sometimes you want to just blow up in their fucking face. I'm like, no. This is what I think, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. But that's not the best way to come about it. To come from a loving, healed perspective is to be like, hey, you know what? Flat out, straight up, I think you're wrong. Because this is what I think. And we all think differently, but XYZ, you know your circumstances. I'm not trying to tell you how to go about a situation. You need to go within yourself. You need to go within yourself and figure that out for you. But I definitely do feel like perhaps there has been family trauma, family wounds, probably something in your upbringing that has caused you to really struggle in your life right now. There's definitely a need to heal the past, a need to heal the present, and a need to make room and make space for fresh new beginnings. Let's see, is there another deck that I'm feeling called to? Okay. I guess my usual decks, my usual go-tos, eh? This one has definitely become a go-to of mine. Whoa. Confidence is your key to success. And I believe this card came out in the very last reading that I did as well. Definitely, what I was saying about working on healing yourself, on self-love, on being confident, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The key to success is confidence, because when you're confident, you know your worth. And when you know your worth, you will not accept anything less than the best for yourself. Meaning you will not accept people in your life who treat you like shit, people in your life who just ignore you and treat you like a third wheel, people who do not respect you, people who do not, take you seriously. That's what this is saying, is I'm done with the bullshit. Come to me right or not at all. And of course, don't be so harsh about it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I'm an Aries, I come off harsh sometimes. Anyway, it's important to be confident within yourself because, with or without anyone around you, if you think about it, Let's say tomorrow everyone that you knew and loved was, disappeared. They're in a safe place. Let's say they're in a safe place, but you're on your own. There's no one around you. If you have no confidence, if you never learned how to fend for yourself, if you never done any of that work for yourself, it will be a completely different experience, a completely harsh reality for you than if you have healed and you learn to fend for yourself and you're more independent. Then, if no one that you know is around you, you're still capable of moving forward. And just what I mean to say about that is like how often do you rely on the energy of the people around you to keep you afloat? You need to rely on your own energy. You need to heal yourself, and you need to be able to look in the mirror to know that you're worthy, to know that you're good enough, and to know that you are capable of doing absolutely anything that you desire. Let's see if I could get a few more of these. Be bold and make the first move. That is the full card. Like Jack. Back here. Be bold and make the first move. In order to be bold, you have to have some amount of confidence. You have to know, like, hey, you know what? Whatever happens, I got this. I'm going to make the best of it. Something that I was raised to believe is like, you never know unless you ask. So if you want something, you need something, whatever, ask. What's the worst someone could say? No? Then hey, you got an answer. It's better than no answer at all. But again, when you ask, if you don't ask, the answer is just no. Because, it's safe to assume no. Right? So it is 100% no. If you ask, it is 50% no, 50% yes. So it's up to you. You have to be bold. You have to have the confidence enough to be like, hey, you know what? I deserve some chance. I deserve some chance here. And the only way for me to have that chance is for me to be bold and to take that first step. Like the Fool card. Whoa. Whoa, Nelly. Alright, let's see. Don't let your past hold you back. This, I'm just going to point really quick to this love card and this healing card. I have spoken a lot about this energy already. Not only in this reading, in other readings as well. My point is, in order to heal, I'll reiterate, in order to heal, we have to let go of the past. We have to cleanse the wound. We have to not let it infect us. So this is bringing back to don't bottle shit up. It's only gonna get worse. Bottling shit up is an infection on your energy, on your soul, on your spirit, on your physical body. When we are so stressed out over something that is blocking us, and usually a lot of times it's our past. When we're so stressed out over something, we can't even change the past. Like, why still stress out about it? And I'm speaking from experience. I know what it's like. And I'm still working on this too. This is something I'm currently going through myself. When you learn to let go of the past, you learn to heal because you know your worth and you know that you deserve better than your past situations, your past circumstances. A win-win outcome is forecast. Here we have the scales. So finding balance. And this brings back to the card with the girl, this one. When I see the figure 8, thinking about balance, letting go of old patterns. When you move forward, regardless, let's say you want a person or a job or something and you give it your go. You give it your best. Let's say you get shot down, right? And we may be like, oh, well, why the fuck did I even try? Why did I bother? And I knew this was gonna happen. That's why I don't try anymore. And that's that guarded energy. That is the 7 of Wands energy and the 8 of Swords energy that came out earlier as well with the Sally card. It is only the beginning. Just because this one situation you were told no does not mean you're not good enough. It means that there's something better out there. And know that regardless, it may take time, but the best outcome, the best situation, the best career, the best, person out there for you, whatever, however you want to take it, it's out there. But if you don't know your worth, you're going to accept any situation, anybody who just says, oh, I love you. Any career that's just like, oh, yeah, hey, come with us. If you don't know your worth, you're more likely to get sidetracked and to be bothered when the things that you deserve don't come into your life. Well, what do you expect? It's like saying you have $100 and you want, let's say, you want to treat yourself. Let's say you haven't bought yourself anything nice in a long time and you really want this, I don't know, fill in the blank. I'm just going to say dress is the first thing that popped up in my mind. And let's say you're one of those people that's like, I don't want to spend $100 on a fucking dress because it's just a fucking dress. Like, that's stupid. But let's say that's the one dress that you really, really want. And let's say every time you think about, hey, what do I want to get myself for my birthday or for whatever? I deserve something nice. It's your money. You work hard for it. You deserve to get yourself something nice. Quit saying that I don't just because it's expensive. So, money comes and goes. And sometimes you gotta treat yourself. Like, let's be real. Sometimes it's nice to just, instead of always bargain buying, like always on the sale, like I'm gonna buy this just because it's $5. I'm gonna buy this just because it's $3. It's shit ass fucking quality. Chances are that's why it's so dirt cheap. It's quality over quantity is the thing that I'm trying to get across. Quality over quantity. So yes, something that is a better quality is completely understandably more expensive because it takes more money to make it, right? Chances are a better company is going to pay their employees better, gonna pay their factory workers better, they're gonna use better quality materials that cost more money. When you look into marketing or you look into fashion merchandising, for example, or textiles, fashion merchandising, whatever, you'll find literally every extra yard of fabric, every extra bit of lace, every extra bit of trim, every nice metal button instead of a fucking plastic one that's just gonna break. It adds up, right? So something that may cost someone $50 to make, they have to make a profit, right, for their survival so that they can keep up with their company, so that they could pay their people, so that they can make an income too, so that they don't have to live in a shoe, but so that they can have, abundance and flow to where they can live comfortably themselves. That's marketing, that's business. You have to have some kind of percentage so that you can make some income. If you sell a garment for literally as much as it takes to make it, you're literally making no profit. It takes you, let's say you have $100 and you take $50 to sell something to make it, and you sell it for $50, in the end, you're not making any money at all. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. Maybe it's relevant to your situation. My point is, I'm going in a tandem. I'm so sorry. My point is, it's quality over quantity. When you know your worth, you're not going to accept, you're not going to just blow off all your money on 50 garments of clothing just because they were dirt cheap and, oh, look, they're falling apart the next day. Surprise, surprise. Could you really be surprised? No. Now let's say and I'm not saying you have to buy expensive brands, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just trying to get a point here that sometimes something takes more time, more effort, more money because it is better made, better quality. It's not always just about the name. I'm just saying even something you don't know the brand of, but hey, it's better quality, so understandably it's a little bit more pricey. It's not quantity, it is quality. If you want just absolutely anyone to walk into your life to be your friend, you're gonna have some friends that do not resonate with you. Now, if you're allowing people to come into your life who have that resonance, who have that vibrational match, you're going to have such stronger bonds. So it's like, for example, would you rather have 1,000 friends on your Facebook account? People, let's say you don't even really talk to any of them, but you have 1,000 friends. Oh, wow, I have 1,000 friends. Congratulations. So, what good does that do if none of them are really there for you? If you're not really there for any of them? Let's say you have 100 friends on your Facebook, but you know every single one and you talk to every single one and you guys are close. Huge difference. Huge difference. My point is, again, it's not quantity. Quantity don't mean shit. Usually when we don't realize our worth, or when we don't want to be particular about the energy that surrounds us, we're gonna allow and accept anything and anyone who comes our way. So we're gonna have people who treat us like shit, we're gonna have people who ignore us, we're gonna have people who, XYZ, fill in the blank. But when you are particular about the people, places, and things in your life, when you have a more minimalistic mindset, it's not about owning 3 things and that's it. It's about only owning what has value and purpose in your life. You learn to let everything else go because you know that you deserve better. So you're not going to allow just anyone or anything to come into your life because I only have so much space in my house. I don't want a cluttered house with things that do not deserve to be there. Things that don't make me happy. Things that are literally crappy and gonna fall apart in 5 seconds. When you learn to have a minimalistic type of mindset, you learn to only keep the things around you that vibe with you. And that is powerful. Because then there's no room for people to treat you like shit. There's no room for something that's gonna just fall apart the next day. Because you know that you deserve the best. And again, I'm not trying to say this involves money. I'm not trying to say that you have to buy the most expensive whatever. That's not what I'm saying. I hope that I'm making sense. I'll just leave it at quality over quantity. A win-win outcast is for sure gonna happen when you start to step into your own power and realize, like, I'm not just gonna allow anything or anyone just to pop up into my life and whatever. It has to resonate. It has to feel right. We have to have stuff in common. It's not to say you can't not be with friends who don't have stuff in common. But I'm saying the people who are going to bring you the most inspiration in your life are the people who resonate with you. The people that you be vibing together and like, hey, yeah, let's do this project. And like, yeah, we're both equally as excited, instead of like with a friend who's never motivated to do anything at all, ever. And you can try and motivate them, tell them that they're good enough. But if they don't realize it for themselves, whether this is you or someone around you, they're not going to take the leap like the Fool. They're going to be the Fool in reverse. They're going to be the 8 of Swords. They're going to be the 7 of Wands. Let me continue. Step out your comfort zone. That's the Fool card. Expect powerful change. Expect powerful changes. When you learn to have confidence and when you learn to love yourself and you heal, when you learn to heal yourself, you naturally are going to go through so many changes. But I guarantee you they're not going to be negative. I guarantee you that those changes are going to be for the better. It might be painful in the moment. We might not want to let things, people, places, things go because we're so attached to it. But it is necessary. I'm feeling called to share that lately I have been wanting to do a cord cutting ritual for something in particular situation in my life. And perhaps I'll do a video on it. But if you feel like you are energetically like tied down to someone or something or whatever scenario or past situation in your life that's not allowing you to progress, if you are the type of person to practice spirituality or to practice witchcraft or whatever you want to call it, perhaps that's something you can consider looking into and doing for yourself, is a cord cutting ritual. I would personally highly recommend to do it not out of spite or anger, to do it out of love, forgiveness, and compassion, in order to move forward without the burden, or I mean, if you want to talk karma or whatever it is, if you believe in karma or not. So yeah, let's see what's underneath. You and your loved ones are safe. And under here, a fiery climax approaches and your dreams need a practical plan. So whatever it is that you can dream, you can make it manifest. Really. That's the truth. But you have to know that you can. You have to trust and believe in yourself enough to really step into that power. Whew. Okay. I might pull from a few other decks. This reading is longer than I anticipated, but that's okay. I just hope that it brings someone clarity. That's why I'm here. Oh, okay. Freedom. Freedom. Follow your heart and nurture your soul with love and freedom to grow. Yes. It makes me think of energy, of birds, how they fly. Let's see. Transcendence. Transcend your mind's limitations and allow your soul's light to truly shine. So speaking of this already, I see there's a meditation card and a light card, which I feel are connected to this transcendence. What is transcendence? Of course, it is when we are transcending, when we are moving past certain situations, people, places, things in our life, or when we are raising our frequency to where we are leveling up, quite literally leveling up. Light. It is time to reveal your radiant light to the world. Don't be afraid to be who you really are. Let yourself shine through. Meditation. Take a moment to connect to Source through quiet, reflective meditation, which I mentioned meditation earlier, which is very important. Blue flame. Connect to blue flame, which is the light of pure love within you. Creation. Being creative is a wonderful way of witnessing the unfolding of your limitless creative soul. Courage. Live your life fearlessly with courage, strength, and determination. So courage to me comes from confidence, right? When we are in our courageous, confident selves, we're able to look life in the eyes and really just go for it. Making me think of that Leo energy from this confidence is your key to success card. And also this inspiration card. But this inspiration card is also making me think of this creation here. Know that you are free to be who you are. Don't allow people, places, things to hold you back. Of course, be safe. Know that you are protected, but be aware of your surroundings. It's understandable in depending on where you live, depending on certain circumstances, or, if you do have aggressive people around you, whether they're family members, significant other, friends, or just people in your community who treat you like fucking shit just because you're gay, or you dress different, or just because some stupid shit for their own stupidity. Don't let it stop you. But of course, there's a need to also protect yourself and be consciously aware of your surroundings as well. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Be who you really are. And if you need to move away from people who don't accept you for who you really are, then move away from them. Who cares? Who cares? That's not your problem. You're here on earth to be your truest expression of who you are. And if a community around you, or family around you, or friends around you do not fucking get it, that's their own damn ignorance. Don't let that stop you. You do everything in your power to be authentically you. And of course, I will say again, be careful, because I know in certain countries, in certain religions, it's literally life or death. So be careful. I love you guys so much. And I am so grateful for each and every single one of you. I think that I'll leave this reading here. I sincerely hope that it brought you some clarity, some love. Know that I support you. As long as you're not harming other people, do as I will, harm none, but take no shit. I truly live by that. And I hope you do too. You have my support, and I would love to know if this has helped you in any way, shape, or form. If this is what you're going through, have gone through, or if this is something that you start to realize and are currently stepping into, know that you have my support, you have my love, and I want the best for you guys, always and forever. This was a message from Black Tourmaline. This was a message from your guides that seek to protect you, and they want you to be protected. If you feel called to get a piece of Black Tourmaline, if you're able, I would highly recommend it. I've given Black Tourmaline to an ex of mine, and he said that it helped him, and he used to always wear it. I don't know if he still does, but he used to always wear it at work where he has to deal with a lot of bullshit from people. And he has noticed a difference when he has it on versus when he doesn't. I've also given a piece of Black Tourmaline to an ex-manager of mine in the last job that I had. And he also said that it has helped him, and he's kind of, he seems kind of empathic. So if you feel like your energy has been sinking, or you feel negative or anything like that, crystals and energy, working with energy in particular, if you're not very attuned to it, it might just feel like bogus. But science proves that everything is made up of energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred. And crystals, for these beautiful, marvelous, spectacular perfection, these perfect earth babies from Mother Gaia, they have a purpose here on this earth, and they are teachers, they are protectors, they guide us. And if you feel called to get a piece of Black Tourmaline, I would highly recommend it. just sit with it, work with it, meditate with it, carry it with you when you go out and when you're working. And if you feel stressful, hold on to it. Hold on to it and imagine this energy, the negative energy flowing through you into the crystal, and within the crystal transforming that energy into a positive one that is being brought back into you. Thank you so much for being here, for our guides, for our spirits who guide us, for our angels and demons alike. Thank you. And thank you, Black Tourmaline, for this message. I think this is something that many of us needed to hear at the moment. So thank you so much again for being here. I really, truly, deeply appreciate each and every single one of you guys. I would deeply appreciate if you feel called to join the soul family here, then please feel free to do so. I would love to get to know you guys more, and I sincerely hope that these messages brought you some love, hope, clarity, some peace of mind, and let's work together, even no matter how far apart we are. Let's work on raising our vibration so that we can together raise the vibration of the earth around us that so desperately needs healing, especially these days and what's going on in the world. And anyway, we are in a stressful time. Dark times seem to be prevalent, but it's not the end. Together we are strong. Together we are united. Together as one, we can accomplish and overcome anything. So, I love you guys. Black Tourmaline loves you. your ancestors, your spirit guides. We love you guys. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.